Hey everybody, Dirk Beveridge here, founder of Unleash WD, on day 3 of our going live on LinkedIn to talk about the 10 lessons from the last 8,760 hours of COVID. The year of 2020, the year of COVID. What were the lessons that we pulled out of it? I pulled out at least 10 lessons, and that's what we're talking about in this 10-day series of live conversations with you, a little give and take relative to these 10 lessons. We started on Monday, we came back yesterday, and we're here again today to talk about lesson number 3 of the 10 lessons from COVID. Really glad that you've joined me here. We're going to get started in just a few moments here. So as you come in, please say hello in the comments. Let me know that you're here. And throughout the conversation that we're going to have today, I'd love to hear your comments as well. Okay, everybody? So again, thanks for coming. Let me know that you're here. And we're going to get started in exactly 2 minutes. Hey, y'all, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for coming back. I don't know if you saw me run out. I decided that I'm ready, but I needed a second Diet Coke to go. So that's where I ran to go get. Hey, thanks so much for being here. And thanks for saying hi. Let's see. I believe this is Ted Stark. Ted, if that's you, thanks for being here. RJ, good morning, man. Happy Wednesday to you as well. Thanks so much for being here. Oh, my goodness, Brian, my heart is warmed seeing you. I think of you often, Brian, and in fact, I look at your picture right over there on my windowsill every single day. I think of you all the time, Brian, and let's do connect, all right, soon, bud? Justin, so good to see you, man. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to today's session as well. Yeah, hey, Joe, thank you. I got the email this morning. If you did not watch yesterday when we talked about the second lesson of connections trumping relationships, Joe talked about this great book by Matthew Kelly, The Dream Manager, so thank you very much. Again, Ted, if that's you, I agree. I like the bumper music as well. Thank you so much. Hey, Guy, man, you're at O'Hare, man, masked up. Get on that plane. Listen to those flight attendants. I'll tell you a story I had about them sometime, but listen to those flight attendants and enjoy. Ted, really good to see you here, man. Thank you so much. You engaged with 4 people yesterday. Bam. And the results were better than expected. I'd love to hear more. Really would love to hear more. Jennifer, thank you so much for being with us and those kind words. I appreciate it. And so, yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. So let's get into today. Again, for those of you that are just joining us for the first time, let me set the context for us, right? The year of COVID, 8,760 hours. Absolutely, words like unprecedented were used, words like the new normal were used, and the like. And but 8,760 hours. And I started thinking about how did that impact me? How did it impact my clients? How did it impact my community? How did it impact my family? And so several weeks ago, as I was going down to Florida, I took out my journal and I journaled, right? What are the lessons that I took and that I might be able to share? And these were written for me, quite honestly. But then I put it together in this email, and it was the most shared, most replied to email that I've sent in a long, long time. So that was the catalyst for us all coming together. All right. And the 10 lessons that we learned, we're taking one of these each day over the 10 days. On Monday, we talked about the concept that time is precious. Yesterday, connections are undervalued. Today, we're going to talk about health. Tomorrow, this concept of you can be asleep while awake. Friday, technology is an amazing enabler, but I think what we learned last year too is that it can also be a destroyer. Monday, we'll come back and we'll talk about leadership mattering. Tuesday, the human spirit yearns to explore. Wednesday of next week, we'll talk about we entered this new age of acceleration. My mind is going crazy thinking about that, so I really would love your input on that too. 9, life is a healthy struggle, and that we need to take control and shift our being, everything, to tomorrow. So thanks for being here. That sets the stage, and if you're ready, let's get this party started. All right, we are ready to get this started. Hey, Russ, I got to tell you, this means a lot to me. Go Dirk. Yeah, go Dirk. I'm going to go, man. I'm going to try to go. And thank you for thanking me. And it lifts me too, Russ, just so you know. It lifts me as well to be able to share this as well. So thank you for those encouraging words. So, all right, lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 from the last 8,760 hours. I have to tell you, something inside of me is almost worried about saying this, right? Because it sounds so damn simplistic, doesn't it? But the third lesson is that health is absolutely everything. Health is absolutely everything. And I think the last 8,760 hours really drove that home. And I think it's more, and I think I'll talk about this in a bit here, but it's more than just the physical health, right? It's the holistic health of us as human beings, as individuals, the mind, the body, and the spirit. When I talk about health is everything, I'm talking about the mind, the body, and the spirit. The last 8,760 hours has really driven that home to me. Several months ago, I had the opportunity to interview some clients and ask how COVID was impacting them. And we all talked about COVID fatigue, and just look at some of the responses that I got from the individuals that I talked to about how COVID was impacting their health. Right over there at 1:00, it's taken its toll emotionally and mentally. Did you feel that? Did anybody that you work with, did any of your associates, any of your family members feel in that way? 3:00, everyone is worn out. I believe that COVID stressed the living daylights out of most of us for a lot of different ways. And we woke up worn out, burnt out, tired, unmotivated, unfocused. It's about the health. Down there at 5:00, the uncertainty, when is it all going to end? That uncertainty, not knowing, was tiring for us all. It impacted our health. Another said to me, Dirk, I want to be at my best. I want to perform. I'm a performer. But it's a constant battle to perform at my best. It's been traumatic. It's been very tough, stressful, and challenging. And it's been a constant series of adjustments. So without question, and by the way, we could go online and I considered doing this, right? Yesterday, as I was putting the final things together here, I considered going on and finding some of the research studies that I have in my files and all that. McKinsey is writing about it. Deloitte is writing about it. The CDC is writing about how people are drinking more and how stressed we are. And I was thinking about adding that. But you know what? I said, no, let's stipulate. Let's stipulate for today's conversation that COVID has impacted each of us in so many ways. So what do we do? Well, here's the thinking that I came to as I wrote down that lesson: health is everything. So here you go. And I really love your thoughts on this. What I concluded is that when you have your health, you can strive to achieve just about anything. You can strive to achieve many goals. They can be physical goals. They can be financial goals. They can be business goals. They can be personal goals. They can be relationship goals. Man, when you have your health, the world is your oyster. The universe is your oyster. You can go after, you can do, you can accomplish whatever you set out to do. But when you've lost your health, you only have one goal. Think about that. Let me say that again. When you have your health, you can strive to achieve whatever it is you set out to achieve. Truly, anything is possible when you have your health. Again, mind, body, and spirit. But when you lose your health, when you've lost your health, you only have one goal. And that goal is what? To get healthy. That's the only thing that matters. Your health, in my mind, is Dirk. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Dirk. I'm looking at me. Dirk, your health is absolutely everything. It comes before your business. It comes before your family. It comes before everything. Because if I don't have my health, I can't take care of my business. If I can't take care of my business, I can't take care of my family. The health is absolutely everything. Does that resonate? Do you agree? What thoughts does that generate? If you have any, I'd really appreciate it, because these thoughts are growing as I'm sharing them with you. I'd love your thoughts. So let's drill down a little bit more. All right, when you've lost your health, you only have one goal. And as we've looked at the last 8,760 hours, of course, when we talk about health, we often are focused on the body, right? That COVID-15, right? That COVID-15 didn't help any of us. In the last 8,760 hours, however, have taught us a thing or two, I believe, about mental health and the health of that inner spirit, which guides every single one of us forward. Now, you see the flag back here. I consider myself a patriot, and I love this country down to my core. And so let me just tie it to our country a little bit. That's where my mind goes. And like America itself, seemingly so strong and so vibrant and indestructible, yet in reality, this amazing experiment, this amazing country is nothing more than a fragile idea. That's all. And we have to constantly ensure that idea is healthy. So just like that, I think we have learned that as strong as we thought our mind was, and by the way, I think I have a strong mind. I think it's one of my strengths, the grit that I can bring to things, right? With that mindset. But I think the last 8,760 hours, one of the things it's taught me is just like our country being a fragile idea and it needs to be nurtured. As strong as we thought our mind was, it too is fragile. The mind needs to be worked. The mind needs to be cared for. The mind needs to be exercised to remain strong. And just think about some of those comments that I put up on the screen a little bit earlier. It's one of the problems, the challenges I think we found in the new normal of COVID, is that for one reason or another, we weren't able to exercise our minds. Oh, Dutch, we need to talk. You broke your leg, man. Couldn't agree more. I get well soon, Dutch. Get well, buddy. Brian, man, I know, and Susan Merlo, you're saying that Brian is a warrior. Your health, absolutely agree. Thank you. And Ted, yeah, we can't do anything else if we're not healthy. So I would agree 100%. So body, right? The body, the mind, we have to nurture that. But I talk about health in terms of mind, body, and spirit, right? Our inner spirits too. I really believe that's part of our inner spirits need to constantly be cared for. When we can no longer visit our places of worship, we're doing something wrong. When we can no longer attend the concerts and the festivals that lift us up, we're doing something wrong. When we can no longer travel to within our borders or overseas, but when we can no longer travel to those inspiring, awe-inspiring national and state parks, when we're isolated, when we're social distance, when we're under unending strand of disruptive work life and disruptive home life, I think too, all of those things lead to our spirits being diluted and our health not being cared for. So I truly do believe that your health really is everything. And I mean mind, body, and spirit. So Jennifer, I love what you're saying here, that the pandemic provided a reset button for you. It gave me the opportunity to prioritize my health and my life. I love that. I absolutely love that. It looks like Ted said something else here in a similar way. He lost 30 pounds during COVID. I love it. I decided I want to come out of this better, not bitter. Beautiful, Ted. Just beautiful. And Martin, agreed. The same way I feel indestructible right after more. Oh, man, I can accomplish anything. Martin, I didn't want to get on the treadmill this morning. I didn't want to get on the bike this morning. I did. And just like you, man, you get off of that, right? And bam, let's go. Let's go conquer the world. I got this LinkedIn Live. Let's go do it. Right? So I agree. So yeah. So our health is absolutely everything. So guys, I've never shown this in public. I've never shown what I'm about to show to you in public. I hope it has value for you. It's guided me over the years. And I know that COVID, I came back to it and it's helped me. I hope it helps you. But it's a framework that I developed before COVID about my health, about thinking about the mind, body, and spirit. And I call it Dirks energy ecosystem, because I there's this part of me that says, being healthy is all about bringing the energy to life, bringing the energy to fulfilling my potential, bringing the energy, right, to attack the opportunities in front of me, bringing the energy to the relationships that I have, bringing the relationships to my dreams that I have, and having the energy. Let me go one more time, put you back up there, Martin. Let me go back. Bringing the energy, right, to the world that I want to accomplish anything. So having the energy to do that. And Rickdorfmeyer, so good to see you, my friend. The world famous Rickdorfmeyer, my day is made. World famous is joined us on our LinkedIn Live. Rick, world famous, man. Great to see you, my friend. So yeah, having the energy to go out for that motorcycle ride. So here's the framework that I continue to come back to help me. I've never shown this in public, and I truly hope that it has meaning for you. So when I think about mind, body, and spirit, for me, my framework says each of those have two pillars that I have to come back to. When I feel my health is at risk, when I'm not as healthy or strong or have the energy that I need, I come back to these 6 pillars. I start over at 1 o'clock with the body, and I think about the nutrition. What's the saying? Garbage in, what? Garbage out. And I think about, what am I fueling my body with? And I'm not proud of this. There were several weeks or periods of time throughout COVID where those of you that know me know that I love IPAs. And there were a couple times where I had a few too many IPAs. And I wasn't fueling my health, right? But it's all about garbage in, garbage out. And I don't overcomplicate it. We all know what to do here. We all know what to do. But come back to center. Come back to, are you doing the right things to take care of your health from a nutrition standpoint? Second, when I think about the body, it's all about movement. It's all about exercise. Man, there were days when I was younger, when I was an Ironman triathlete, where I would sit at my desk, man, and the only thing I could think about was getting that second workout in a day. Man, it was amazing. I was alive because my body was alive. My body was indestructible, as you talked about there, Martin. And so in COVID, when we woke up tired, unfocused, sometimes it was difficult to get out and start taking care of the body that we all know that we need to. So body, Dirk, do you have the energy you need? Okay, if not, what are you putting in your body? Dirk, do you have the energy? How are you feeling? Your health? Are you moving your body the way you need to? If not, get after it, right? So that's how I use this framework. So body, and then I go to spirit, right? The 2 pillars there for spirit. Number 1 there is relationships, right? We talked about it yesterday. And maybe it's relationship after yesterday slash connections, right? And it's all about my spirit. And I know that I am fulfilled. I know that I am fulfilled. I have the energy. I feel healthy. I feel good when I'm around people that fuel me, that the relationships fuel me rather than drain me. And so I got to think about, how am I feeling? How are my spirits? Am I moving towards my potential, or am I moving away from it? Okay, look, what are your relationships, Dirk? How are they? Where do you need to work in terms of the relationships to fuel that inner spirit? And then over there is self-development. To me, that human spirit, man, it's all about growth. It's all about, gosh, I'm gonna riff here. Those of you that know me, it's all about love. It's all about loving yourself enough. I define love as growth. I don't know if it's right. That's how I define it. When you love something or somebody, you help them grow. When you love yourself, you help yourself grow. You're in a constant state of learning. You're in a constant state, Dirk, of development. You're going to go and pay $4,000 to go to a 3-day conference. You don't know what you're going to get out of it, but you know it's the right thing to do to fuel that inner spirit, to help you grow. You know you're going to read that book. You know that you're going to do that extra work in learning development. You know you're going to take that online course. Why? Because it fuels the inner spirit of growth and self-development. Does that make sense? Do you guys agree? So I loved it. Jill, you say, oh boy, I love this. Jill, back to the body. Jill says, your body is your temple. It must be well taken care of. Jill, I so agree. I don't have the time for it. I'd love to tell you about the aha that I had at 30,000 feet years and years ago when I was doing Ironmans and stuff. And I agree. Guy, I'm going to put this up real quick. I'm going to read it in real time. All right. Thanks so much, Jared O'Hare. Since November, we cleaned our diet. My wife bought a Peloton. Yeah. For my birthday in September. And together we have over 400 workouts in, getting up there in age. You and me, baby. Aging parents, motivated enough. Oh, that end of life stuff, Guy. Oh my God. If that doesn't remind us to take care of our health personally all day, right? My goodness. I'm on your side, man. And what else did you say there? It started with long walks when the weather was good. We switched to indoor options. This has a huge impact on our energy and spirit. Thanks so much for sharing. Thanks, Guy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jennifer, is this good or bad, Jennifer? Dirk talks like gasoline for the day. Thank you. Thanks. So body, spirit, and then the third part of my framework is is the mind. And my 2 pillars there, you guys, starts with unique ability and multiplier projects. So unique ability, I learned that concept from a coach that I had several years ago by the name of Dan Sullivan. I went to his programs for 6 years, and one of the cores of his principles is what he calls unique ability. Today online, a lot of coaches are calling it your superpower. Call it superpower, call it unique ability. It doesn't matter. They're the same thing. What the concept is that you and I, every single one of us on this planet, have a superpower. We have a unique ability. It's when we are doing this activity. When we're doing this, we are at our best. We are fulfilled. We are adding value to the world. We're adding value to our business. We're adding value to everything we touch. And by the way, it typically comes easy to us. We don't think it's a superpower because it just comes naturally to us. And you have a superpower. You have a unique ability. I have those as well. And what I find, man, is that when I am healthiest, when I have the energy to bring, what am I doing? I'm performing within my unique ability. I'm performing within my superpower. And whenever I see myself not coming into the office energized, and I have days like that, when I come in here, man, with my head down rather than my head up, you know what it's an indication of? I'm not being healthy in terms of the work that I'm doing. I have to refocus on what is the work that I'm doing. Dirk, you're outside of your superpower. You're outside of your unique ability. Take care of it. So we write down, man, what's everything down my to-do list today? All right, which of those is outside? You got to delegate. You got to automate. Get back to your superpower, Dirk. Get back to your unique ability. That's when you're healthy. That's when your mind is absolutely on fire. That's when you get creative. I wish you guys could see my whiteboard over there right now, man. I'm in my unique ability. Certain things going on, man. We got 12 to 18 months planned out of things we're going to be doing here. I'm in my superpower. And man, that's when I'm alive. That's when I bring the energy. That's when you do too. What's your superpower? What's your unique ability? that can absolutely, absolutely uh, propel you and bring that energy forward. Okay, and then um, the other uh, principle there is business processes. Again, it ties to unique ability. Guys, I am not a process guy. Don't tell my clients that I am not a process guy, okay? But uh, um, I need other people who are, right? And I know my mind starts going if we get bogged down in the administrative processes of the business, man. That ain't me. That ain't me. And if somebody's asking me to be the project manager, if somebody's asking me to connect the dots and make sure this gets done, that I ain't healthy, man. I am not. So anyway, I'm sorry. So there's my ecosystem. I've never shown this in public. It's been for me and me only. And it's all about health. It's all about health. And I hope that it helps each of you. So let me just see what you guys are saying here. So I appreciate it. Sue, thanks again for being here. Sue says, absolutely. And momentum with this stuff is so important. I think we lost a lot of momentum this year. Guy, gasoline equals energy. You fuel us. Wasn't that in a movie? Jerry Maguire. All right, man. You lost me at something, Guy. Right on. Thank you. Martin, I appreciate that. You're very kind. I love being with you all. This is what I love to do. And Rick, I will not allow COVID to hold me hostage, man. I know it. I know it never would. So I love it, guys. Thank you. So let me just wrap up this ecosystem because there's a little bit more to it. So I put one more ring around each of those 6 pillars. And what I find is when I'm focused on my body, this is when I'm when I'm finding the strength and the focus to do the things that I dream of. Right? When I'm focused on fueling that inner spirit, that's when I'm fulfilled as a human being, I found. And when I'm working on my mind, in my unique ability and all that, I find that's when I can create wealth. That's when good things happen financially for me as well, which is all part of health. And then last thing, if you don't mind, when I'm in balance, and I'm not in balance all the time. That's why I have this framework, right? To bring me into balance. When I'm in balance, I'm fulfilling my potential. There's meaning in my life, and I can bring gratitude to everything that I do. So again, I've never shared that. I hope it's value for you. Ted, cool, man. I love it. Susan, take that screenshot. I hope that it helps you as it helps me. And the like. So 8,760 hours. Lesson number 3 for me was, it sounds so simplistic, but the third lesson for me was absolutely that health is absolutely everything. So I wrote a reflection question for each of the 10 lessons. And my reflection question that I come back to relative to health is everything is this: what habits, what practices do I need to build in daily to be physically fit, to be mentally strong, and to be spiritually enlightened? And I'm going to keep coming back to that, answering that question and the like. So everybody, thanks so much for being with us on this third lesson, that health is everything. I'd love your comments. What are you thinking relative to this? Was it helpful? I hope that it was. And as you're doing that, let me conclude with my opening premise, because health is everything sounds so simplistic. But this statement just stopped me in my tracks. And it's when you have your health, you can strive to achieve absolutely anything. Anything is possible. But when you lose your health, you have only one goal, and the only thing you can do is focus on getting healthy. And those of you with the broken leg, those of you with other ailments, Brian, I wish everyone here, I wish down to my core, every single one of you, focus on your health, because it all starts with that. I appreciate you all being here. I look forward to tomorrow when we talk about you can actually be asleep while you're awake. We'll talk about that. And I appreciate all of you. Let's go out there, have a great day, a great, healthy day. Thanks for joining me, everybody.